Hello and welcome back to Broken Gear Garage. Today we're going to do a little bit different of a video. This is going to be a product um, usage video, just a demonstration of how it actually works instead of a short video. So one of the commenters asked how this tool worked and stuff like that. So I figured I'd give a little bit short video on how this thing actually works and stuff like that, and my pros and cons on this product. And the guy that commented is Mash Throttle, so that's his YouTube at. If you want, you can pause it and write it down. Whatever, it's Mashed Throttle. I'll try to post it in the description of it. So if you want, you can do the link to it. But if you want to check out his stuff and see what he's been doing over there, then go right ahead. But so this is the product that I had a short on, was the spark plug gapping tool. So essentially, all it is pretty much just a throw threaded thing. Little stand. I mean, it's quite a distance. Seems to be pretty universal for majority of the spark plugs I've tried it with. Like this one is for a lawnmower. Just a basic spark plug. I have a spare ones, whatever. But try to get closer. I may have to lower this down a little bit. So the one short I had was where this was kind of facing up. I'd have to do a better like that. Get as close as possible. Try to focus. I want there. Trying to get a better view of this thing. So, well, even better, maybe. No, yes, somewhat better. So, usually, all the time, these spark plugs have a certain type of gap. So, depending on what you use, feeler gauge, whatever. I mean, I have a freaking AutoZone old freaking 50-cent piece, pretty much glorified gauge that goes from skinny all the way to fat. So that side is going to be in inches, as you can tell. And then the back side will show you all the millimeters. So I just use this because I bought a long time ago, and it's served me well since. So, and basically a lot of spark plugs I have noticed, I mean, it happened, but a lot of them came out of the box, have pretty close to spec on their gapping, so it's not like there's much. But back in when I first started out and stuff, it was either use a needle nose or something, you tweak it, or some kind of tool. And they have spark plug gapping tools now. They're just small little things like these with little wires and stuff to gauge it and stuff. And back in the day, I used to just grab them and go on a table, whatever, and go like that, and then smash it and just hard enough to bend them in place. But nowadays, with how things are, it's not as bad. These gappings aren't as bad out of the box. But so as you're going, like, yep, okay, I have a pretty fairly decent gap on there. We'll just measure it, go until it gets stiff. We're about 65 thousandths. So, I mean, roughly it should be, I would say, 35 to 40 thousandths of a gap. So you put it in here. Then all you do is you go like this. The one nice thing is, this is one of the pros, is all you have to do is turn a knob. It situates it in there. So there's no hidden banging or trying to tweak it and accidentally damaging the electrode. And then you can just go and say, oh, yep, okay, well, and a little bit over, so we can go back in there and fine tune it. Usually if you're close, I just do a little bit at a time, because I mean, there is no bounce back to the most of part of these, so I mean, right there, yeah, I would say, boom, okay, well, we're at 35 thousandths. You're good to go. The only negative side of this thing, I mean, it works phenomenal for doing that, so you don't have to have any kind of factor of damaging the electrode or the ceramic of it. Is the pro of it is just it works off of this housing, so it just all the force goes into here and pushes onto there into the electrode. But be gentle, be careful. The only downside I see is if you're too far in, well, then you still got to use a tool to bend out the electrode. Like there's no, unless I'm missing something, but there's no like little holding place or whatever. You can like lift that into there, hold it like this, and then adjust it out, and then take it back out and out of that spot, position in front of that holder and tweak it. So that's the only thing is like it works phenomenal for if you want a smaller gap and you don't have to worry about damaging anything. But to try to get a bigger gap out of it, you're gonna have to use a different tool just to try to get a different gap out of it. Or like I did with this one, I manufactured it to make it a bigger gap to show how that this tool works. So I just use a little needle nose on this end and kind of tweaked it enough so it popped it out. And I put it on here, but if you know your gap's supposed to be wider than what it comes in factory, you can always try to gently maneuver it way out and then slowly use this tool to work it back into place. So far, I have no issues with it. I mean, honestly, it is a really good tool for the cost that you have or that you get out of it. Depending on where you go, you might have a better quality than this one. This one I just bought on the fly to see if it even works before I even invested in a decent one. But this one was on the old Jungle Webs, and it was, I think, 10 to 30 bucks depending on what you got and the quality and stuff like that. So it's nothing like it's horribly expensive to get. You can find ones that are like $30, $40, but if it's just something you just need to use here and there, and it's just something that you're really not going to use a lot of, I wouldn't invest in something that's really expensive unless it's, the bee's knees catch me out of fucking getting everything done right. So other than that, have a good day. Thanks. Bye.